Hey everybody. Let me get my chat fixed. How are y'all tonight? Oh, there. I see you guys now. Hey Bluebird, Sleepless. How are you guys? Hey Sweet Melissa. I'm in my room tonight, so I turned the camera off. Oh, good, Sleepless. Good. Hey, Warrior Grandma. I'm good, Bluebird. My legs bothered me a little bit. So I'm in my bedroom with it kind of propped up and going to talk about Susan. Oh my God, you guys. This case, like watching all these videos and reading all this stuff about her really got to me this afternoon. Um, all the things that I've learned about her and just her personality, I mean, it just turned my stomach. It just turned my stomach. This woman, she has no shame. So we all know who Susan Smith is. She murdered her children on October 25th, 1994, and she claimed that a black man had got in her car at a stoplight and with a gun and made her drive to, I think it was John D. Long Lake or something like that. And she claimed that he made her get out of the car and he took off with the kids. But it turns out that Susan ran her car into the lake and drowned her kids. And it made national headlines. They did news interviews. And as I was watching those today, I mean, the girl didn't cry. She pretended like she was crying, but there was no actual tears. I was watching her very closely, and she was just kind of like squinting her eyes. She was really not crying. You remember this, Bluebird? Hey, Beth. Yeah. So here's what happened. Susan Smith um, split up with her husband, and she started seeing her boss's son, Tom Finley. I think that's his name. And they were just kind of friends with benefits, but I think Susan wanted more. And as Tom got to know Susan better, he didn't want anything to do with her. He actually wrote her a letter and told her, that he couldn't date her because Tom didn't want children. He didn't want stepchildren. Um, he had never wanted children. And he didn't like how Susan behaved either. Tom had a party at his house one time, and Susan was trying to make Tom jealous, and she was in the hot tub, and she actually kissed a coworker, a married coworker, and Tom saw this, so he didn't want anything to do with her. But in the breakup letter, well, it really wasn't a breakup letter because from what I read, the letter, they were just friends with benefits. Um, but he tells her it's not only that she has children, it's because, she is boy crazy. And he says that in the letter. And he also tells her, she will never get a good man like him if she's, messing around with married men. Hey, Cindy, Sarah, how are y'all? But, anyways, Susan has an interesting history. Susan's father, when he was married, when her mom and dad were married, He drank a lot. He would often threaten to kill himself and kill his wife. She eventually divorced him, and 5 weeks after the divorce, he shot himself in the stomach. But he didn't die right there on the spot. He actually went to the hospital and he died later. And then Susan's mom remarried, and Susan's stepdad started messing around with her, molesting her when she was a teenager. But after, Susan was a grown woman, she still continued to mess around with her stepfather. She actually had told Tom this, trying to make Tom feel sorry for her, but it had the opposite effect because she was a grown woman still messing around with her mother's husband. So he didn't feel sorry for her. See what you guys are saying. Yeah, she was born on, yeah. I have that wrote down here somewhere, her birth date. And Susan, she was convicted of murdering her children. She got life in prison with the possibility of parole after she serves 30 years. And her parole date is coming up pretty soon. I was trying to find the paper where I had that written down. I have no idea what I did with it. Oh, November 4th, 2024. She will be eligible for parole. Now, she probably won't get paroled, I wouldn't think. But Susan has not been like a model prisoner. She has actually been caught, messing around with other female inmates. And two correctional officers were also charged with having sex with her. Lieutenant Houston Cagle and Captain Alfred Rowe. And I just got to say, gross to those men. Like, how can you do that with someone who put their kids and strapped them in a car seat and rolled them down a ramp into a lake and watched the car sink? Your poor little children. Who could mess around with somebody that did something like that? Yeah, Kim. Kim knows all about her. Yeah, Kim. She's in Greenwood Prison, women's prison. She's had multiple STDs, Kim. Yes, Beth. David Smith was absolutely devastated when he found out that Susan had killed their children. I mean, like, he fully believed her. Like, before she confessed, they had done a news interview that morning. And after the news interview, Susan tells her family she's got errands to run, right? But she really goes and meets the sheriff and she confesses. She actually begs the sheriff for the gun to kill herself. And the sheriff and her pray. And after that, she confesses that her children are not all right. You live 10 miles from there, Kim. Hi, Herbie. How are you? Yes, there are no boundaries. It was sad, but David Smith is remarried and he has a son and a daughter. So, but he said sometimes he still falls to his knees over that. I bet he hates her guts. I would. Um, Susan wasn't a good liar anyway. She made up this lie that a black man forced his way into her car at that traffic light. And if that, she said there was no other traffic around. Well, she wouldn't have been stopped, the cop said, um, because she would only been stopped if traffic was coming the other way. And she said there was none. So, Bluebird, I don't know where he lives. I'd say he still lives in South Carolina. He may have relocated. Well, Herbie, my leg's hurting this afternoon. I'm scrolling back through y'all's comments. I go backwards. So I'm in my bedroom, so I turned the camera off. Yes, the boys were so cute, and when they pulled the, car from the lake, I think one of the boys' hands was pressed up against the window, you know? I remember when this happened, uh, me and my granny were watching her on the news, and my granny said, "She's did something to those kids. She won't even look up and make eye contact." And you could tell she was fake crying. If you go back and you watch those videos, those news interviews, she's just like squinting her eyes. There is not one tear, and some of those shots, they get pretty close up on her. No, saying my grandmother thought the same thing. That, she was being deceptive, and so did I. I was young when that happened. I think Michael was 3 and, Alex was, 14 months. Yeah, Herbie, I took some aspirin or well, I guess it's Aleve, I guess that's what it's called. It was pretty obvious, that she was lying and she had did something to those children. Um She actually wrote a letter a while back to this newspaper reporter. They had written to her wanting to do an interview, but the prison had, you know, kept the letter and not gave it to her, and, they had a deadline. Anyway, she wrote them back, and she doesn't have any remorse for those children in that letter. It's all about her, how she's not a monster, like people make her out to be, and all this and that. It's always me, me, me with her. I don't know how you could hurt your own children either. That is beyond me. She's not remorseful at all. Seems like she's having a big sex party in prison, all kinds of STDs, sleeping with guards. She'd pay commissary for people to watch out for her so she could go have sex in the freezer with other inmates. They said, I was watching a Nancy Grace news clip, and they was doing an update on Susan Smith, and this was old, because Nancy Grace hasn't been on TV in a while with her own show, but Nancy Grace was giving her crap, but they said that Susan Smith liked the big masculine, females in prison. Um, because, that was her type, I guess. They said she had had lots of girlfriends, and she likes bank robbers. That's what they're saying. Yeah, she has a bad attitude. I mean, what does she expect people to think about her? She drowned her 2 babies. Can you imagine how scared those children were when the water started coming in the car and stuff? They're looking around for their mom. And she's like, she was suicidal, but she didn't kill herself. She killed her children, you know? Why didn't she just go kill herself, or go get herself some help? Why'd she gotta kill the kids? I think they should have drowned her like she did those kids, and that's just my opinion on that. Yeah, it was so slow, "Hey, Robbie, I hope you're feeling good. How was your doctor's appointment?" Yeah, Cindy, she did it for a man, but if she'd have read that letter, it wasn't just the kids. He thought she was too promiscuous. And do you know that she had actually tried to get him back? And she actually tried to make him jealous by telling him that she had slept with his dad. Yeah. And so, he told her he would never have anything to do with her sexual again when she told him that. See, she was used to being married to David, where she would make him jealous all the time because her and David would always split up and get back together and cheat on each other and pay each other back. Yeah, Carla, she was man crazy. Susan Smith, Robbie. Yes, and the memorial at the lake, do you know there were more kids that drowned there after that? There was like a family with the van that pulled down on that ramp to see that like memorial or whatever, going to get out, but they left some kids in the vehicle and it rolled down in the lake and more kids drowned there like that. Isn't that creepy? Yeah, his family had money. He was the most eligible bachelor in town, they said. He was like 27 when this happened. Yes, yeah, Sarah, I agree because in the letter he tells her they're from two different worlds, but he also tells her that doesn't make him better than her or, her better than him. But there he gave her a lot of reasons that, they weren't compatible. He said that he would always cherish their friendship though. Yes, Sarah. You remember that now? Hey, Shahid, how are you? No, I've not, Robbie, but I will. I will write that down. Let me grab my pen. It fell between my legs. Oh my goodness. How are you feeling, Robbie? With I know this is off topic, but how do you feel? I always write down when people give me tips on cases, and I do look into them. Yes, Sarah, wasn't that so bizarre? It's like that. When, I heard that, I was like, "It's like that's cursed," that boat ramp's cursed. You're feeling hungry, Robbie? Oh, God bless your heart. I'll say a prayer for you, Robbie. I said one for you. I've said a couple, to be honest. Yeah, Robbie, I've been meaning to send you an email too. So be on the lookout. I'll be sending you one. Yeah, Carla. Well, she's got some mental issues. I think she's like a psycho or something. Um, they said that she she liked older men, like when she was young and stuff. And see, she really, really loved her dad. They said she would light up when her dad come around, and then he committed suicide. Then her mom remarried, and she tried to transfer that love to her stepdad. And when she was around 16, she started like laying her head in his lap and things, and then he started messing with her. So they thought maybe that had something to do with her choices with men. She liked older men. Before she married David, she had an affair when she worked at Winn Dixie. with an older married man. And when he broke up with her, she tried to commit suicide. Then David also worked at Winn Dixie, and then she hooked up with him, married him. Hey Floyd, how are you? Welcome. Robbie, you know who Susan Smith is. In 1994 in Union, South Carolina, she drowned her kids in that car. Remember, she tried to act like her car had been like hijacked and somebody took her kids. But the truth is, she rolled the kids down the ramp into a lake and drowned them. I'm good, Shahid. How are you? Hey, me too, TBT. Yeah, I was young too when this happened, and I think this is one of the first true crime cases I got into. I've been watching true crime since I've been probably 12 years old. Did you take them some flowers there, Kim? Oh, Robbie, I know the movie you're talking about. Um, there was a murder, and Farrah Fawcett played her in the Lifetime. It was on Lifetime. That was the woman that shot her kids in the car and tried to act like someone did it. But one of her kids survived. Yeah, Sarah, I agree with you. That's when all that media coverage started, and then it was just like one right after another, women murdering their children. Then you had that Andrea Yates, and of course you got Darlie Routier, Diana Downs. Yeah, Susan Smith happened a year before Darlie. I wasn't for sure, Kim, how far apart those were. Who was first? Hi, Jennifer Jones. I've been meaning to catch one of your live videos, honey. I'm reading the comments, guys. Oh, thank you, Floyd. Thank you so much. Oh, really? I don't know about Dinah Downs. I'm gonna have to look into that. Is she still in the mental place, Kim? Andrea Yates? Dinah Downs shot her children. I've been into watching the stuff about John List right now and Susan Smith. I know it. We only had one life. When I was listening to that woman today, watching those old that old news footage, oh my God, she just her voice is annoying. Anyways, I hope my southern accent does not sound like hers. Goodness gracious, your the way she said your mama. Oh my God, you could tell she was faking too. She just makes me sick. It really got to me when I watched that. They did that reenactment of that car going into the water, and then I saw the news footage of them pulling the real car, um, out of the water. It got to me this afternoon. Hey, Stephanie. Yeah, Shade Farrah Fawcett was cool back in the day. I've always been a big Farrah Fawcett fan. I like all the true crime Lifetime movies. I love those. Thank you, Carla. I was hoping I don't sound like her. Oh my God. Somebody shoot me if I do. She was like you could tell the woman was not crying. No wonder everybody suspected her. I was young when it happened, so I couldn't remember that well. But watching her today, there's not a tear in her eye or draining down her face or out of her eye or anything. She just has her eyes squinted up. Robbie, you can find all kinds of documentaries about Susan Smith on here on YouTube. Kim, I said, I hope I don't sound like Susan Smith, Kim. Coffee chat, I'm addicted to those too. I love Lifetime movies. Yeah, Police Women too, Shahid. She's been in prison since 1994, I guess. Or well, she's been in jail, in custody that long because they arrested her in 1994. When was the trial, Kim? 95? 95? Yes, Coffee Chat. I have saw that. I saw that movie. Oh, thank you, Morgan. Yeah, like she's like almost caused like a big uproar over that, by claiming that a black man abducted her kids. She ran to a house that wasn't far from that lake, Bluebird, and got the people at the house called 911. They said they heard someone outside yelling, and it was Susan, and the woman's son called 911. Well, Fox News is doing some kind of Susan Smith thing. That's what gave me the idea to talk about her on here. They're going to do some kind of special. And I was just looking, she's going to be having a parole hearing. What did I say? 2024, November. Yeah, me either, Beth. I don't know why people kill. I don't know why people kill children, and I don't get that. I don't know how a mother could do that. I mean, they was interviewing some old woman back when this Susan Smith stuff was going on, and it was in Susan's hometown, and that old woman was saying she ain't much, to kill her own, kill her own children. She's not gonna get out, Kim. No, saying she doesn't need to be free. Yes, they do. That is like terrifying. That's like my biggest fear is drowning. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Floyd. Love you too. Oh, Jennifer, I was going to tell you your daughter, Skylar, that's my dog's name too. Oh, my goodness. She got life with the possibility of parole after 30 years sleepless. And no birds allowed here in this one. Yeah, Floyd. Hey, we only had one life. I think they should put her in I thought they should have put her in a car and done her the same way. I know I'm mean, but, it's the way I feel about it. Oh, okay, coffee chat. Let me go see. Yeah, sleepless. That's about 5 years from now. My dog's a girl, Jennifer. She's a beagle. She's got blue eyes. That's right. We only have one life, especially when it comes to kids. Eye for an eye. Hey, she don't Beth, she doesn't have any remorse whatsoever for killing her kids. All she could say is she's not a monster. She loved her baby. She loved her babies, but she watched them drown in a lake at her own doing. Thank you, Shahid. Oh, really, Floyd? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, block them then. Hey, coffee chat. I think that too. Um, I think they should like put pictures of them all over, the cell. I do sometimes, Jennifer. I think I'm gonna. Sometimes I'll skip a day and not do a morning live, but I'll probably do one um, in the morning. Yeah, Floyd. Oh, Kim will get them. She's good at it and saying, and Kim likes zapping people. Yeah, we only have one life. Don't be texting and driving, girl. Probably sleep as it probably would give them pleasure. They're sick minds. I know it. They should never. She couldn't love her kids to do that, because she loved her kids. She wouldn't wanted to kill them over a man. But if she was just so, I don't know, crazy or something, she didn't realize what the man was saying in the letter to her. Not only did he not want kids or stepkids, he didn't want Susan because Susan was promiscuous and, you know, they just didn't have a lot in common when it came down to it. Zap them if you have to. Really? She makes mascara out of coffee grounds? Now, David Smith wrote a book. I saw that online today. Yeah, and I think that was like in 1995 or something when he wrote that book. I mean, it's a sad, sad case. They have, well, Kim said she's been to the memorial there. It looked like it was really pretty. I know. I don't know how you could hurt your own children. Now, Andrea Yates, wasn't she schizophrenic? I know she drowned her children, right? She really, really bad mental illness, bad. And then she got postpartum depression. Hey, sunshine, I almost missed you, girl. Let's see what Sarah said. Oh, really, Marilyn? I'll have to listen to that interview. It's always sad when you listen to someone that's close to the victim talk, and it's just makes it more real, to you. Makes the person more real to you. Hi, Dana. Yeah, Kim, she was like that woman should have been put somewhere, like, way before she coulda a long time, when she first started getting sick, Sad. Yeah, coffee chat. The husband and mom knew how bad off she was. Yeah, Beth. He made it really hard on her too. I'm not making excuses. But I watched a little bit of stuff about that, and he made it hard on her. You know, he knew that she had a mental illness and postpartum and was struggling. And at one time, that whole big family was like living in this like real little tiny trailer, mobile home. And she was homeschooling them all. And she was mentally ill. And she was home all the time with the kids. Hey, the hooded claw. Yeah, thought she was saving her children. Yeah, she was clearly mentally ill. And my grandfather was schizophrenic. So, you know, I kind of know probably what her family's seen a little bit. I seen out of my grandfather. Yeah, it's a crime. Hurting innocent children, Floyd. Yeah, Coffee Chan. I can't imagine where I guess her adrenaline rushing probably from her mania made her stronger. Yeah, she sure did slip through the cracks, Sarah. She sure did. I don't know, Jennifer, how I feel about that. I'm conflicted about it because, even though they're mentally ill, God, you can't kill your children. Lord have mercy, you know what I mean? It's sad. My grandfather was very, very disturbed, but he was never violent towards me or said anything to me or anybody else. Guess everybody's different. He was schizophrenic, but he would see demons and things. I think that Andrea Yates was very, very sad. Very sad. Poor children. Um, yeah, that is so sad that she thought she was saving her children. It is a disgusting world, Floyd. I totally agree with you. She's thinking the same thing, Bluebird. Yeah, Kim. He should have never left her with those children. You know, I'm sure he blames himself. I mean, because she should never been left with those children alone. Yeah, Dana. Unfortunately, that's true. My grandfather committed suicide. He harmed himself. Yeah, that's true. The Hooded Claw says the mentally ill are more likely to be victims of crimes than perpetrators. I think where she had a mental illness and then she got that, postpartum, it's what made her. She really thought she was saving her kids, though. Does he still stand by her coffee chat? I didn't know that. Oh, oh, thanks, Dana. Yeah, my grandfather, he committed suicide. I think it was in 93 or 94, I think. Do you, Dana, work with schizophrenic people? Yeah, my grandfather, he would hallucinate like demons and things, and he would try to go to church, but he wouldn't take his medicine and should get to reading the Bible, and you know how they do about religion with their schizophrenic sometimes. Lord have mercy, you'd have to agree with him. It's very, very sad. It's very sad. Oh, really, Marilyn? See, I didn't have any kind of postpartum or anything with my son. I was happy as could be. I mean, I don't. It's a wonder if I didn't get postpartum because I have mental illness. My dog's over here grunting. What are you grunting about, baby? They do suffer terribly, and they don't want to take their medicine. And Dana, I try to make my papa take his medicine, try to get him to. And he would sometimes, sometimes he wouldn't. Oh, really? Coffee jet? Yeah, she is very, very sick woman. It is scary for them. Saying it's very, very scary for them. It's all right, Dana. It is very, very difficult. But I know I couldn't hardly get Papa to do it. Sometimes he would, and sometimes he wouldn't. Yes, sir. It's exactly what happens. Oh, thank you, Shahid. Oh, really, Kim? I didn't know that she was an RN. I knew that he didn't want her to take birth control. I know it, Floyd. It is sad what this world became. It really is. Oh, yeah, Beth. I think I had a little panic attack this afternoon. I had panic attacks too when I was watching all that Susan Smith stuff and them pulling that car out of the water. My heart rate just started, my heart was pounding out my chest. Yeah, saying there's still a lot of good people in the world. You're right. Like all of us. Coffee, what's the date on the last interview? Yeah, that's a good question. What is the date on the last interview? Be interested to see if they're still together. I was glad to see that David Smith had remarried Susan Smith's ex and had two children. That doesn't replace Michael and Alex, but can have somewhat of a normal life and yeah, Floyd, that's true. Yeah, Vicky. But there was more reasons he didn't want to be with Susan besides she just had kids. Um, for one, she had went to a party at his family's estate, and she was in the hot tub kissing a married coworker, and Tom had seen her doing that. Um, Plus, when he tried to break things off with her, when he saw they wasn't compatible, she told him that she slept with his dad. So he told her he never would have anything to do with her again. So, I don't know why she had it in her head. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I don't know why she had it in her head, that it was just because she had kids, the reason he didn't want anything to do with her, and there was a lot of reasons, and most of it was Susan, not the kids. He did say he didn't want to have kids. It was a decision he had made long ago, and he didn't want stepkids. And is a sex fiend. Yeah, she is. That's all she does in prison, and Tom even told her in that letter that she was boy crazy. And he also told her she would never find a good man. She's, messing around with married men. It's not human nature to kill a child or anybody. Yeah. Bye, Dana. Yeah, Floyd. Some people, I don't know. Sometimes I think some people might be born evil. Some people have no conscience. Some people have no sympathy, empathy, compassion or anything. Oh, really, Bluebird? Somebody called the police on YouTube? Jezebel spirit, yeah. I like that episode of Twilight Zone about the Jezebel. That's what that reminded me of. That was on Mommy Ramblings. I don't know who that is. I don't watch that. I've never heard of it. I think she was on the live last night. Oh, really? Yeah, Chris Watts and Susan Smith be a perfect couple. They should hang those two right together, like the old fashioned days. Oh, really, Kim? Oh my God, are you serious? Said he was on his way to kill her. Oh my God, y'all threatened to burn her body, kill her and burn her body. What the hell? A really coffee chat? I'm gonna have to go check her out. Yeah, she's very impulsive. Bad. She's, narcissistic too. It's like, "Me, me, me." Like that letter she wrote to that reporter saying that she's not a monster, um, not the way the media portrays her, to be. Like, how the hell are you not a monster? You watched your kids slowly drowned in a car you rolling down the ramp. And whole family. Oh my god, Kim, are you serious? Yeah, so I'm gonna go check her out after I get off here. Anona. I think that's how you say your name. If not, I apologize. Oh my god, he was orgasm on the machine. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Cindy, good question. How did he get her home phone? These people can find out anything though. Yes, she is, Beth. She's a monster. Susan Smith is. Oh my goodness. Then he called her twice more. What a creep. He's probably obsessed with her like a stalker or something. Somebody, he knows he can't never have her or something. He's trying to stalk her and scare her. Or it could just be somebody being a butt dick. Yeah, coffee chat. That would have freaked me out too. Yeah, so that is very disturbing. That's scary. Yeah, I'll go check her channel out. That's crazy. Yeah, Kim. Kim was telling me about that, that she was watching something that there'd been quite a few YouTubers that's been, murdered over the years. Yeah, I would have been scared to death myself. Oh my goodness. That is so crazy, sir. Right. Oh, it was her house phone? Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, you said machine. Yeah, sir. Oh my goodness. I don't blame her. I would have called 911 also. That is so crazy, guys. They said mommy ramblings, Beth. Someone threatened to murder her and burn her body. Called her home phone. I don't know, Marilyn, because one of the boys' hands was pressed up against the glass of the window when they pulled the car out. So he was trying to get out. Looked like to me. Press on the window. She probably didn't drug them. If she had of, it probably would have showed up in their autopsy toxo- toxicology. Yeah, saying I agree. They would have found that. Uh-oh, I dropped my phone. She wasn't going to take her own life. No, she wanted to rid those kids uh, so she could have Tom. She didn't realize that Tom didn't want her because of the person that she was. It wasn't just the kids, it was how she was. Susan's a very petty person, very materialistic person. Yeah, coffee chat. That is scary. I can't believe that. Yeah, she's selfish. She's very selfish. Well, guys, I think I'm going to get off here. My dog's over here aggravating me to get up and let him out, I think. I've enjoyed talking to you guys tonight. Yeah, Marilyn, they should drown her in a car like she did her children. That's what I think should happen to her. I mean, I hope she never sees the light of day again. She's out and up there in the prison just having a good old time, having sex with the inmates and the guards and doing drugs and, you know, her kids are dead. So, yeah. Well, okay, guys. I'll see you guys probably in the morning. Thanks, Kim and San, for moderating for me tonight. I love you guys. Bye.